Welcome back to Say No to Lashon Hara, day 63. This entire series is being done for the continued health of Chana Bat Simafega. If you'd like to sponsor an episode, please let us know at shlomo@wearechazak.com. We've been learning that the Chafetz Chaim is introducing things that might have made you think that the Lashon Hara that you're hearing is okay to accept. And he's disabusing us of that notion by explaining that those ideas or those elements of believability may not be completely transferable to this location. So let's take a look at today's example. The Chafetz Chaim says that there's an idea called Dvarim Hanikarim, which means things which are obviously recognizable. The Gemara brings in Masechet Shabbat on page Nun Vav Amud Aleph that there is a story there where David HaMelech accepted Lashon Hara because he saw a sign that the Lashon Hara that he'd heard was actually true. There was something that gave a very strong indication that what he'd heard was actually accurate. And in those cases, Dvarim Nikarim, we see that there are times where Lashon Hara is actually something you're allowed to accept because you can see the signs that what you heard was accurate and true. Chafetz Chaim explains that this is not something that should be used across all manner of Lashon Hara. If it's about believing negative information or something inappropriate about somebody, and we feel like there's something in the situation that points in that direction, that's not enough. Why? Because the only time we allowed Dvarim Nikarim to be used as something which will allow you to accept Lashon Hara is in a case where there's toilet, where it's constructive. So a person needs to protect themselves. In that case, he's able to do so with Dvarim Nikarim. So as an example, if someone was to tell you that there's a good reason to think that one of the friends of your children is really a bad seed, and you want to warn your child not to hang out with them or to be careful around them. So you think to yourself, well, I've heard this Lashon Hara now, and now I have a sign that seems to indicate that the kid is not such a great kid. So now I'm able to believe this Lashon Hara and share it with my child. So in a case like that, where there's Dvarim Nikarim, something which is very clear, then he's allowed to share the words that he heard, coupled with the example, the Dvarim Nikarim, the supporting evidence to that fact to his son, in order that his son might be protected. However, this idea is only when it comes to toilet. But if people are just speaking Lashon Hara, just randomly talking about somebody, and there's no reason to hear it or to accept it, Dvarim Nikarim, this idea of supporting evidence, doesn't change the halacha at all, and it's obviously forbidden. Not only that, Chafetz Chaim goes one step further. What if it's not Dvarim Nikarim, I actually know for myself? So let's say, as an example, there's a bunch of people in your office and they're talking badly about one person. Happens to be, I know everything that there is to know about this person. I already have my opinion of him. I know exactly who he is, and what he does, and what he's capable of. Now, other people are talking about him. So they're saying Lashon Hara, and I have corroborating information in my head. Says the Chafetz Chaim, that's also forbidden. Why? Don't bend your ears to listen, says the Chafetz Chaim. Why? Since what I know to be true, I know to be true. The words that they're adding are just Lashon Hara. If there's no point in hearing that Lashon Hara, it doesn't matter that you know it to be true. It's just negative speech for no purpose and no toilet, and that's forbidden. A person's not allowed to do that. Not only that, we shouldn't want to hear negative things about other people, but rather, as Rabbeinu Yonah explains, that the best way in life is to try and conceal the sins of others and to praise people for the good which can be found in them. Not only that, he continues and says that it's the way of fools to seek out blemishes and the mistakes of others and to criticize them. They never speak another's praises or find the good in them. That's Rabbeinu Yonah in Sharei Teshuvah. So to recap, Dvarim Nikarim is something that can be used when the Lashon Hara is already toilet. So it will be very helpful. How am I repeating it if I don't know that it's true? The answer is I have strong signs that tell me that this indication is actually there. However, it's only for the toilet. I can't actually take that outside of toilet and just use it for random speech. So if it's not for the sake of constructive criticism, even if you know it to be true, not only can't you share it with other people, but you also can't think about it and accept it in and of yourself any more than whatever information you already know.